Anthropic has built a model that can reason about cybersecurity vulnerabilities. It's called Mythos, yes, and it's not public. We know, we all have been talking about it. It's a partial release by Glasswing, and its existence has forced and brought a conversation into the limelight that the AI industry has been avoiding for some time. The point is, if a model can find vulnerabilities, who's using it first? The defender or the attacker? Siddharth Jindal, who's our senior tech journalist at AIM, has been digging into this story, and it seems that he's found quite a bit, which of course he's now going to share with us. Welcome to Front Page, Siddharth. How are you doing?
Yeah, hi Sudhi. I'm doing good. How are you?
Very well. Thank you so much for joining us on Front Page despite your busy schedule. But I want to start with this, Siddharth. Let's please first understand. I want you to explain something to myself and the viewers. What is Mythos actually doing before? I don't want to get into the implications first. What is Mythos doing? That is one. And the other aspect is reasoning about cybersecurity vulnerabilities is a great thing, right? And it covers a lot of ground. But first, I want to understand what's genuinely new here
Yeah.
versus probably models like this which had possibilities before. Why is everyone trembling in their boots?
So it's very clear. So Mythos is one of the most powerful models which Anthropic has built,
Hmm.
and like it can detect day zero vulnerabilities. Like this, in simple terms, these are like vulnerabilities in any software
Sure.
which like even their developer don't know about it.
Hmm.
So that is the main issue which is causing problem.
Hmm.
So suppose if the model is released and it gets in the hand of cyber attackers,
Hmm. Hmm.
then all the digital platforms which are built around the world, like banks or like insurance companies, so they're feeling like what if hackers use this model to attack their software, and they cannot even act, like they don't know what to do, like
Correct.
what is happening, and like the speed at which humans will be responding will be much slower than
Oh, for
what
sure.
attack hackers Mythos will be doing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And we all remember, right, Siddharth?
Yeah.
Our Honorable Finance Minister had called for an urgent meeting. Nirmala Sitharaman,
Yeah.
ma'am, had done that when
Yeah.
there was this news which was doing the rounds that there were some hackers who got access to it, and it was for the banking sector where she was asking banks that are we
Yeah.
vulnerable, are we not? So yes, you remember that?
Yes, yes, I definitely remember that. I was actually going to discuss that. Like a lot
Hmm.
of Indian banks, like as you mentioned, Nirmala Sitharaman held a meeting,
Hmm.
so they
Correct.
also they all was want early access to that model as well, so they can get prepared beforehand. Like in US, I think as you mentioned, there's a project Glasswing under which
Correct. Yes.
yeah, some
Glasswing.
companies like Microsoft, Cisco, Google already have access to Mythos, but
Yes.
India should also get that access. At the same time, some of the UK banks like Barclays, HSBC, and NetWest are also asking Anthropic to get access to the model.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, so I mean, it is obviously something which is right now causing a lot of shockwaves across the world. But I want to understand this now. I want to come to this because I think let's dig a little deeper. There is this entire thing of arms race framing, which Google has done, which is
Yeah,
in terms of Google's threat intelligence team,
yeah,
Siddharth, has
yeah,
identified a group of criminal hackers, right?
yes,
And what they did was they used AI to find and weaponize a zero-day vulnerability.
yeah,
Okay? So that is
yes,
not, it's no longer a theoretical risk,
yes.
correct? It's quite real and it's quite scary. How significant, according to you, is this moment?
So
And do
like,
you feel it changes the calculation for how these models will start to get released? As you just mentioned, that
yeah,
Glasswing is a restricted release. It's not been
yes.
made public.
Yeah, suppose so like I would urge all my viewers to go through that report which is published by Google.
Hmm.
So mentions that it mentions one of the first instance where a group of hackers used AI to bypass two-factor authentication,
Hmm.
and like however I think Google did respond actively and they weren't able to break into it, but it shows like people are trying to use AI to hack systems.
Hmm.
So all developers should read that report, and yes, this has started a new cyber arms days. So like OpenAI also unveiled their new model GPT 5.4 Cyber, and they also looked at a new initiative called Daybreak, under which people will get like some limited customer will get access to that model, their their cybersecurity model. Yes.
Right, right. Tell me this. Then, of course, one comes to this point, Siddharth, that how does one tackle this entire or bring some sort of method to this madness? Which brings me to this point. There is an argument which has been made by Sarah Bird, who ends up
Mhm.
saying that the defenders, right, who will be countering these hacking or these criminal hacking attacks, they should
Yeah.
be given access to these models.
Yeah.
And Microsoft's position is that defenders need access to these models because they, of course, need to be armed with the same kind of ammunition that the attackers have. Is that, according to you, the right way to go forward, or does releasing powerful cybersecurity AI to more people, in a way, accelerate both sides simultaneously? How do you know who will go rogue?
I think the companies are taking the right approach. You cannot
Okay?
just put out very powerful model just like that, and they will gonna like screen all the applicants who
Hmm.
are
Hmm.
on those models, and whoever they feel suitable will get access to them. So I did interview like a chief product responsible officer at Microsoft, Sarah Burt. So
Okay.
she's absolutely right in her argument where like defenders should also get access to those models. Or like if attackers can use it, then defenders should also get access to this powerful model. So I'll share one example like Mozilla,
Please. Hmm.
like a very like a famous browser platform like Mozilla Firefox.
Hmm.
So they also published a report in April where they said that like Mythos was able to detect around 271 vulnerabilities in Firefox.
Correct.
So like, even their developers weren't aware of that. Suppose like there's a lot of software lying around the world, and
Sure.
with Gen AI, like everyone is doing vibe coding also, and there will be more software in the future, and like who's going to take care of them? So that's why if these like defenders get early access to model, it would be very good for the like AI community and developer community, and alongside like for the entire world as well.
So you essentially believe it is the right approach moving forward. Fair?
Yes, yes,
As
yes.
far as agentic AI is concerned, so that's another animal altogether.
Yeah.
At this given point in time, what are your thoughts as far as the risk is concerned, given the fact that when an agent kind of goes off task or let's say gets hit by a prompt injection attack, how prepared is the industry honestly for that, Siddharth?
I would say the industry is not prepared right now. Like
Okay.
I know people are building small businesses using vibe coding, building new websites, but most of them right now are also non-tech people. So then the onus of taking care of the software lies on these big tech companies like Microsoft. So that's why they said they just don't want to care of the model. They want to secure and like build guardrails around the entire software development process. Like if any non-technical people is also building a website, then like Microsoft will take care that no prompt injections attacks like that happen on
Okay.
those platforms. Yes.
So,
So I think Microsoft
sorry,
also
yes.
has, yeah, Microsoft also has released a new system which comes with 100 AI agents. So
Hmm.
that also is going to work for cybersecurity. So it's like a similar initiative like what and OpenAI and Anthropic are doing.
Tell me this, Siddharth. According to you, what industry, since you said that the industry is not prepared at all at this given point in time, fine, I'm sure measures are being taken. But in case, God forbid, of an attack, which industry do you feel at this given point in time is the most vulnerable?
So right now, going by the news which I'm hearing on internet and television, I think the banks are the one that
So
right
the
now
right, the banking sector.
banking sector because they obviously like take care of our money.
Hmm.
So if anything goes around,
Right.
there can be grave for any nation. Yeah,
So basically that is at this given point in time the most
yeah.
vulnerable. Okay,
I
which
think
brings me
second could be the healthcare. I think maybe yeah,
healthcare as well.
yeah.
BFSI,
But
what about insurance?
yeah, yes, like BFI, where like wherever the like transactions and money is related,
Right.
that would yeah, or maybe like some classified websites as well, like which is taking care of important information.
Hmm.
That
Okay. Which brings me to this number. and which I had put down, and I wanted to ask you about this. 11,000, right? The 11,000 model problem.
Yeah.
Microsoft Azure AI Foundry has listed 11,000 AI models.
Mhm.
Microsoft evaluates the high profile ones, and this is
Yeah.
something which, was a little scary for me. By their own admission, not all of them, right, are the ones that they're evaluating. So, Siddharth, in a cyber security context, the gap which I've just established is honestly not something which can just be glossed over. It is not like a footnote.
Yeah.
What do you feel is the most vulnerable aspect that is thriving in that gap that we've established? 11,000, they're saying they're on their own, that they are not evaluating everything.
Yeah. So when I did a chat with Sarah Bird, so she mentioned ki, actually, as you mentioned, ki Azure has more than 11,000 models. But
Right.
practically, also, like it is not possible to scan every one of them. So they do profile like which are frontier and most powerful ones, but smaller models, I think they skip.
Hmm.
So as I mentioned previously, they are also not just focusing on the model side as well. Like they are focusing on agentic AI as well, the
I
entire
was going to ask you
life,
that.
life cycle,
Right.
the software thing, like the software people are going to build, the multi-agent framework people are going to build using those models.
Right.
So that would be more scarier. Like instead of like individually checking models, if your software which and the framework which will include multiple models and agents,
Hmm.
that is a win-win situation for everyone.
Do you feel, very quickly, I want to ask you this since you spoke with Sarah Bird, do you feel that there might be a change in the way they classify going forward in terms of how they are evaluating and not evaluating, given these risks that we are discussing?
Yeah, absolutely. Like they, I think right now also as we speak, they will be like wondering and how can they evaluate these models better. Like when like
Correct.
everyone is speaking of Mythos. So Microsoft, as we know, they are already working very closely with Anthropic. The Microsoft is
Correct.
one of
It is.
invested in the company.
Hmm.
So yeah, they'll be keeping a close eye on these models, how the Anthropic is going to go ahead, and like what is going to be their approach with Glasswing. So right now it's very early stage. It would be very interesting. So how the different sectors and industries are going to keep up with the AI companies. Yes.
Okay. Of course, before I finish this conversation, we have established the fact that the defenders require access, and it's important.
Yeah.
Also, the
Yeah.
fact that you feel that the companies are moving in the right direction, although right now it seems that nobody seems to have a very clear understanding. But I think, in a way, Mythos, being Mythos,
Yeah.
has definitely woken everyone up to
Yes.
the reality of cybersecurity risk. Anyway, I have to ask you this, which is, do you feel, Siddharth, that we have finally hit that sweet spot of AGI? Have we hit it?
I in my previous episode I mentioned that we have already achieved AGI. I think Jensen Huang also repeated the same in
But
one of his
Jensen's
podcasts.
definition was different, Siddharth.
Yeah, AGI. I think like if people are worrying, like AGI, the benchmark of AGI is definitely going to move ahead every time. Like if 3 years ago, if you would show me GPT-4 or GPT-3, like I would have called that AGI only. Like if this thing can write articles, books, blogs, and like I don't not doing any Google research,
Hmm.
like and it can write scripts. So 3 years ago, I would have called like GPT-2 or GPT-3 AGI as well. And I think humans definitely are not going to stop at any one particular achievement. So humans love to set the benchmark higher with each achievement they like each goal they achieve. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just for your information, Jensen Huang has claimed that we have hit AGI, and so has Siddharth Jindal. So, well, keep an eye out for the both of them. Siddharth, before, of course, I let you go, I have to ask you this. I know you have been doing a lot of hard work regarding DES, which is in its 5th edition, the Data Engineering Summit. And I know that you're going to be publishing an article very soon. But very
Yes.
quickly, like a behind the scenes kind of a deal, I would like to understand from you. What were key highlights for you at DES?
So like the key highlights, like Data Engineering Summit is one of our key events which we organize annually. So it focuses on data engineers, like how the backend side of things are going to
Correct.
evolve. There are like different platform like Postgres, SQL, like the different data languages,
Hmm.
and like people are curious to know how they can work around with them in the agentic AI era. So there were many great leaders from different companies who gave insights, and like they also put forward their problems which they are facing in their company. So it was an exchange of ideas where like people had doubts, people had new insights, and
Right.
they had each other out. So like one of the articles which I yesterday published talked about how uh, shopping online is going to change forever. Like
Okay.
yes, like for all these years we had like static platform, a
Hmm.
static
Hmm.
interface where you just added products to a cart. But going ahead, like you could be changing the face, like you could imagine yourself wearing a particular dress, or maybe
Right.
seeing yourself in a particular environment. So those kind of systems are not easy to build. So
Yes.
like there were discussions on that, and there were discussions around how companies can build like enterprise friendly AI tools with proper production. We
Hmm.
see like how it's easy to build, go in pilot and build demo products, but to build a product which can be used at scale is difficult. So like these were some of the insights which were discussed at EES, and
Nice.
like it's going to happen next year as well. And like if
Oh, for sure.
some did miss out this year, can attend next year as well. And before that, I think Cypher is already here. So I think
Well done. I, of course, Siddharth, asked you that question because, let's be honest, Front Page's main sponsor is DES. So, yes,
yeah.
it was very vibrant, I believe, which is good, as vibrant as Front Page. And, of course, it becomes even more vibrant when Siddharth joins us. Siddharth, thank you so much for all of your insight as far as the cybersecurity risks are concerned, for that wonderful article that you put out post your conversation with Sarah Bird. And we'll, of course, keep calling you back in Front Page. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sudhi, for having me.
Wonderful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Siddharth has, of course, written out a very interesting piece. Please take a look at it. It's on the Analytics India magazine. And I think my just final takeaway or the front page take post our conversation is this. That line from Siddharth's article that I would like to keep going back to is attackers are going to find the technology regardless. Yes. And now the question is whether the defenders get it first, get it equally, or get it too late. Please, I would like for you to share your thoughts on this entire aspect of Mythos, which has definitely caught everyone's attention, some in a good way, but mostly as something which has woken everyone up to the risks. Please do let us know. What are your thoughts in the comments below? This, ladies and gentlemen, is Front Page by the AM Network. Like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM.